Not really too many options left with the amount of support bans that have been through. We saw this flash earlier in the day. It has been quite a while since we've seen Yuumi with Aphelios, but we're going to get it. Lumao going to bring out the Yuumi.
I'm mad because I did just say that the Zeri being banned takes away the Yuumi, which made me happy, and now she's back into play, which is unfortunate. But it is going to be locked in there. And I mean, look, you already have so much engage. Having that Enchanter support definitely makes sense in a lot of senses, especially with the Lulu and the Milio ban. But
and going against the Braum, you don't feel too much threat. Yes.
Exactly. But that means bot lane is just kind of a scaling matchup now. So I'm actually curious to see if Hong can, hopefully we'll see him go a little bit more aggressive in this early game. Because again, like we saw in the first game, is that once he didn't have camps to go to for after the first rotation, he kind of got a bit lost within himself and you know, took time to reflect before he really went for something. And now might see him going in for Zika. And I like this play a lot. The Mininar is such a exposed character, and Zika now realizing he's in between a rock and a hard place, and he's just going to give up everything to die, not use his flash because he knows he messed up.
Trying to get the better end of those trades, but look, Tarzan gonna want to go and try and compete for this top side scuttle. Scout has pressure, but hasn't started leaning over just yet.
Looking for it now. Tarzan was able to get it. Way's taking very low right now. This is actually a bit of a one. Flash in! Breed gets the belly bop down. The charm is great to stop this Scout from moving back in as well. Will they be able to kill off Way? Yes, they will. Now means double buffs to flash forward. Can they get the stun off onto Scout? No, they can't. The transfer of the buffs is exceptional. Zika, why would you hit that blast cone? And it's 4 for 1. RNG having a much stronger start in this game one.
I was going to say, from my point of view, it looked like he was the one that hit it. I assumed maybe I saw wrong, and it was Tang Yuan, because, yeah, now look at this. Out of nowhere, off of such an immaculate game one, LNG 4 minutes in, already 1.4k gold down, off of a lot of greed, overzealousness. Tarzan wanting to take that fight, reading the situation a little bit wrong in terms of how quickly Scout and Zika can get there.
Yeah, I mean, Tarzan can't take this fight now. It's 2 long swords and a sheen for Wei, which is a sheen better than what Tarzan's got for himself. And Wei knows it, so Wei's just going to keep the pressure down, put down some wards, make sure he has the priority over this, because look at bot lane, look at mid lane. There's no one coming to help you here, Tarzan.
And, I mean, Wei, no matter how RNG look right now, or the results, Wei is still, right, such a phenomenal player. Showed that in the last split, even now, as Tarzan goes for this, but Tang Yuan's here.
I mean, you got the Brahms. This is definitely a scary position here. Tang Yuan gonna get caught up by the Winter's Bite, but getting a little bit over-aggressive here. And LNG, they're feeling a bit floundering like right now. They don't really know where to go and what to do. They want to go for fights, but I feel like they're already too far behind as we finally get a replay from this topside fight.
Like, what happened from game 1 to game 2? Tarzan going for this, I understand. Like, you're up, you had Prio in mid, but Scout wraps all the way around, so he doesn't really get here that soon. Zika just coming off the TP again, not as early as it looks like Tarzan hoped. And then it's so easy for RNG to just all in and focus down Scout. Sure, he gets one, but with Tang Yuan still having flash, they followed up. And who hits this? It is Tang Yuan. Okay, I was going to say.
Okay, not as bad, not as bad.
Would not have made any sense at all had it been Zika. So, but still, what happened from game 1 to game 2? What kind of pep talk is Coach Poppy giving?
I mean, whatever happened, it definitely gave RNG a little bit of a...
I figured it out. Poppy also used to be on RNG, right? Double agent? Double agent.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no other explanation. I have to go with this particular answer because there's nothing else to tell me otherwise. So the evidence says yes and no at the same time, so I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, that is huge. Oh, engage.
Here we go. They're going to go and try and just burn down LP. He does have the cleanse available, going to use it, but cannot get away. TP coming in. That's going to be the Gnar. Or no, never mind. It's going to be the Scout coming in. And now they're going to try and get him one more auto attack. Oh, they couldn't get the concussive blows down. But a great response here from LNG. They knew they had the advantage. They knew they had the ward coverage, and they get themselves 2 kills.
And LNG still being the first ones to make this play from like mid-jungle down to bot. It was RNG who were hoping to make that play. Look at Rift Herald. It's almost, I mean, it's 3/4 of the way timed out. And now LNG on top of this is going to get to pick up a dragon.
I mean, yes, you are getting topside pressure. Breed will pick up a plate, but this is just a fantastic move here from the side of LNG. And again, they centered themselves. They brought themselves back into this. And this is why I was saying that Tarzan's flash in favor of Aphelios's is always going to be better for Tarzan.
Yeah, every single time. We're going to see here Tarzan just waiting in the wings. Walks a bit too far forward. And I mean, what can you do, right? Tarzan was there right into the chompers and then just funnel everything onto him. And with Scout's TP coming in, nothing Tangyun can do. I think it is best just to get the hell out of Dodge and lose as few friends as you can. But hey, at least Wade did find an opportunity to drop this Herald in bot lane.
To get the drop on the Herald, so picks himself a couple of 100 gold. Not too bad for him. As you see now moving forward again, this is a Gala with a Stormrazor, and again, this is the difference between the Jinx of LP in game number 1 and the Jinx of Gala in game number 2. Kraken Slayer for LP game 1, now the Stormrazor here for Jinx and Gala. It just feels like the Stormrazor is just such a powerful item that you just cannot let go in this early stages, especially with that extra movement speed. Even just to get you out, you're an immobile AD carry, you have to go for it, and yeah, Zika, good flash, because if you get hit by that, you probably die.
Like, this is absolutely insane what Breathe is doing in this 1v1, completely dominating this matchup the whole time. I guess he did get jungle help earlier on, which did kind of push it into his favor. But Breathe, the top laner, who's able to keep up and maintain, even still just putting the threat onto Zika. But look at the minimap. Scout and Tarzan are both trying to make their way over.
There are wards here, though, so they know that the Tarzan is there. We'll see Breathe panic and pop his Everfrost, but should be just fine. No real reason to use his flash to get out of that one there.
I was so confused. I'm like, one, why does Zika have an Everfrost on Narn? Two, how is it shooting like 10 feet away from where he is?
Well, Gala gonna use his cleanse and his chompers to make sure Wei can't get on top of him. Now Hong's kind of separated away from his team as they look to try and just kind of burn onto him. And yeah, I think
Pour
Hong
one
kind of
out for Hong in chat, people. Pour one out. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's dead. Gotta get the Spirit Rush out of Tangyun, but not really much else he can gain from that because they knew that everyone rotated tops. They knew they'd go for it, but now looks like LNG want to try and get some revenge and kind of go for this topside gank again.
Okay, he has flash though, and he has explosive cast. They got to be careful. They might end up under his turret if they misplay this.
They might, but they're going to try and put themselves forward, and now can't really get a position to get out of this one here. You still have flash on Breed, but can he get out of it? That is the question. It's going to be the Meganar hit and a kill given over to Tarzan. So good response here from LNG to make sure that they are making cross-map play when their bot side gets caught out.
Kind of surprised that he didn't try to like wait for the CC to come through, flash E towards his turret and see if he can knock someone in. But maybe it would be way too risky for a play that like 70% wouldn't work out. So holds onto the flash, has that for the next player, next fight, or, you know, a timing if he has to look for like a flash E, flash onto Gala. We might have a fight soon.
Might indeed. There's a charm, but it's an unbreakable and it's a Braum, so now they can maybe go for another fight here. Look to try and maybe push this one a little bit more in favor of LNG. The TP coming in from Scout. They know where he is, so they know he's going to be on this backside. They know he's isolated, so that's why they're kind of corralling back in towards him.
Oh, no, they're going to get him.
Oh, no! They're going to be able to try and catch out Tangyun, but he flashes. Now LNG kind of backing themselves away, but LNG haven't really lost a lot from this. They've just kind of like dealt with the fight, and now Breed kind of goes in with the belly bop. Doesn't have much else to kind of offer, but a kill there onto the Vi means they should be able to pick up this Rift Herald as well. It's so scrappy right now, Lyric, as both teams vie for control.
And just, again, time and time again, small oversteps being the things that gets LNG punished and keeps building up small advantages. Luckily for LNG, again, they aren't falling too far behind in terms of gold, definitely still in striking distance. But now another Rift Herald to break open this map even more. Dragon going to be up in a minute. Could also be a potential play to use this to enable you getting yourselves what would be second Dragon for yourself. So RNG right now definitely having all the options. Even getting bot wave pushed in, which should be nice. Now come back up on the map. As Zarya or Wukong pats down, you start getting some vision down in that bot side river.
Quite possibly. Dragon was taken, so not quite sure what LNG are hoping to have RNG do around this river pit, but Breed now making his way down towards this mid lane, looking maybe for a flash belly bop. Onto Gala would be perfect, but you gotta feel like for LNG, they know he's not top lane. You give this up. Yeah, smart play from them. They know that they don't really have the pressure, and now Scout might need to get himself an exit stage left pretty damn soon. He's tanking the turret. He should be able to pick it up and then get his recall off.
Yeah, RNG.
Go for a teleport.
Breathe.
I mean, Breathe is in a bit of trouble here. We are going to see Zika lose his Mega and get ulted away. There's another rocket going flying by, and Breathe kind of loses nothing. They gain a little bit of pressure on that top side, but that's about it. Now Tarzan looking for a flash in. They know he's squishy. He goes golden, but why? You just broke your stopwatch. Now you're going to die. Way now up on this top side, a little bit isolated. Going to use the Cyclone as they got the RETPing in. Scout trying to see if he can get away from this one here, but he's isolated and alone and a little bit afraid. They'll get the tower. They trade back 1-for-1, but LNG now have the pressure in mids. They maybe they're going to push for the turret, but with the Yuumi and the Aphelios rotating over, it's not going to lead out to anything else.
See, Sheen, that's why he uses stopwatch, because Zanya's now picked up, but Tang Yuan, he's going to die.
He hasn't got Spirit Rush. He does have Cleanse, and he does have Flash. There's one, there's the other, and he still goes down, loses both summoners, but really nicely done there by LNG. That's the kind of play they've been looking for, honestly, for the last, like, 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, they've needed anything. Kind of checking back in on gold. It's actually still amazing that LNG have kept so well in striking distance.
So close.
You know, they're only one turret behind, only one kill behind, so they actually aren't falling all that far behind. As we're going to see here how Breathe went down. They've committed so much time to taking down this fat drunk man. Buys time with the stopwatch, which does give enough time for a way to get in here. Scout to still be overexposed to allow the kill to come through once the Cyclone comes out. Because, yeah, the whole of RNG is trying to make their way over here, which is also what opened up for LNG to get that push in mid. So, you know, it was a bit of a trade-off, but as RNG, you'll take that trade-back kill anytime.
You already have the Rabadon's finished up for Scout here. You can imagine he's not too far away from that particular completion. And like you said, the Zanya's finished up for Breed. That's why he was so liberal with his stopwatch to try and delay 4 times. So I take it back. I wasn't familiar with your game, Breed, and you know I'm sorry for that. But
you better give him an apology.
But we come back into the game. It's fairly even. A couple of 100 gold in favor of RNG. 2 dragons to 1 in their favor. So no one's really going to be getting a soul anytime soon. Really, 6.5 minutes at the best, or maybe even 7 minutes really by the time you actually take it. And Zika is going to start taking turrets very quickly with this Triforce build.
Already, you know, sitting on some posts as well.
I mean,
Tarzan!
They're going to jump straight in on top of LP, but they can't burn him down just yet. They will kill off Way. That's a TP coming in from Breed. They've killed off the Aphelios. They'll get the cat as well. Not quite getting it just yet, but one more. No! Not quite getting the auto, the smite, and now the auto will kill him off. Hong does get the CC down with the concussive blows. Even pops up the Everfrost, or excuse me, the Unbreakable to kill off, but a double kill coming straight in for the Ari means it's a bit of a drive-by. Gets 2 kills and gets the hell out, but it's still LNG favored 4 for 2.
I was so scared that exhaust would be the difference maker. That's why it took Gala so long to finish off LP. Exhausted for a majority of those first few autos coming out, but the rest of the cavalry comes through. And LNG now, it has been so dicey. We have been so confused at the flip between Game 1 and Game 2. But now LNG are here to play. They're online. Deathcap finished up for Scout. Hullbreaker finished up for Zika, who wants to be a big menace in the side lane. And now, again, really finding some power. We're going to see here Tarzan just feeling so comfortable pulling the trigger because they have 4 members strong. They see the Ari in top side, and they get the CC chain onto the Aphelios. Starts with Way, who was also caught in the crossfire going down. And then look, exhaust on Gala, not able to get off as much damage as he would hope. And then that last rocket, just not enough in the end, so Tarzan has to commit himself. Gala gets low, but in the end, the Braum shield and some help make sure that they finish off more kills.
Going back into live though, Lyric. We can see now RNG trying to burn away this dragon to put themselves on the soul, but they can't do it! LNG get the rocket out and they get the steal. They get everything they want and a little bit more, but now LP getting jumped on straight away by Tarzan, who's going to skadoodle himself all the way out, you would imagine. But now Wade coming in on the backside, they've recognized that Tarzan is a little bit overextended. And LNG get the dragon, they only cost them 1. That's fine.
LNG going to be incredibly happy about this. Even get the faster pivot to mid to make sure they get control over this wave. We're going to see if RNG are going to be able to try to force or find anything here. No Cyclone means you don't have the same ease of engage.
Wade does get a little bit of a heal coming out there from Lumao, and a flash from Scout back over the wall as they know that Baron's a little bit of a problem here. 15 seconds till Tarzan comes back. These health bars are getting lower and lower. The poke is very much matters, and that's where the Yuumi comes in and starts to really shine in these fights.
Okay, Sheen, I got this. And then they go RNG hitting the Baron going down not as fast as we think. Okay, Gala, we see what you're doing, throwing out abilities. What's going on? Sheen, take over.
Oh, Zika! 2 kills, 3, 4, probably even 5. Wei has nowhere to go but back to his own lane and to the safety of his gray screen teammates, because that was huge from Zika.
Where did they all go? Zika with the ult, but then the damage to follow up was massive coming out from LNG. Just, Barons once again getting the better as Tarzan gonna look for Wei.
I mean, they'll get him if they can keep pushing for this, but the ultimate comes out, almost takes him out. Maybe a little bit more damage there, but there's 2 turrets, 3 turrets. The gold is swung from dead even to probably about 7,000 once all these turrets are dead and gone. And this is the LNG from game number 1 coming back to life in game number 2. Will only be sole point for either of these sides. Again, no one really near the soul for at least another 5 minutes or 6 or so. Wei kind of isolated here. They can just kind of fully commit to him if they know they can get in with the Annie. That's kind of what they're looking to try and do. They now know that the dummy is down, so they can go full commit onto this.
Now, though.
Scout is surrounding them. There's going to be a flash built into Wei now. As we can see Scout coming in, and he finds himself a beautiful ultimate. The rocket will be hit in onto the decoy. Breed trying to TP in to make sure he has a bit of movement to get into this, but there's a big shutdown. There's the Aphelios trying to make this one work. He didn't have the Jinx in position, and the Aphelios can start to do Aphelios things. This is huge. It's going to do, and coming down to these 80 carries. Can this Aphelios do it? There's going to be a bit of CC. They don't get the Glacial Fissure. There's a triple kill coming in there for LP. Can he get a little bit more? He will be able to push his team even further. The exhaust crippling Gala, and now as he tries to just get one reset, that's all he needs, but he will not get it. I don't know if they can end, but they can certainly take a hell of a lot of the base.
I mean, huge fight coming out from RNG. Members of LNG kind of funneling one by one, but like you're saying, RNG now can really do some damage to the space. I don't think they should be able to end. I mean, you have Scout and Tarzan coming up. If they do, though,
they're going for it. They're going for it. 5 seconds till Scout's up and available. Nexus turret number 1 going to be going down. There's a good little barrel to stop the movement speed, but they're taking too much damage from these towers. They even TP'd the Ahri in, but it's just a little bit too far of a stretch. Now LNG will have a little bit more of a run of the map, and what could have been an exceptional play from RNG to get themselves back in the front of the tempo, they kind of fumbled the landing just a little bit, but still fantastic work from them.
Exactly, right? They still come out ahead. They got all the kills. It's great, but definitely going to be behind in terms of getting onto the map and getting that dragon. We see here wanting to catch out Wei. They don't have the damage here with Scout being so far behind, even the Jinx. And I feel like that's the difference maker. Like, okay, he can't take down the Annie, but the Aphelios is already here, already able to dish out damage. Yuumi throwing out the ult so they can't run forward. And then big multi-man Moonlight Vigil followed up by the cast from Breed. And again, Gala has finally just started autoing, Breathe immediately Zanya's, and it's like, okay, you weren't just kind of testing DPS versus DPS. It was LP able to free hit that whole time, and Gala just zoned away. So great job by, you know, the Aphelios, by the Gragas to make all of this work. And then Wei with the follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, like, having those extra bits of CC was absolutely massive. 5-for-1 trade at the end of it all, but we go straight back to live. Breathe is on a flank, doesn't have flash. A lot of summoners not available. Pretty much everything except for the Ahri having those extra summoner spellbooks available to them. But top lane's going to be pushing in favor now of RNG, and you can see double super minions stacked into that. Means that this Baron defense becomes a little bit harder, and they can shred this very quickly.
And now more items coming out too. Wei, a full item up over Tarzan, having that Guardian Angel online, so if he does look for an engage and go down, will get that second chance to keep the fight going. And you can tell right now, RNG feel comfortable, they feel confident, they're ready to scrap. Gonna focus on getting control over top side vision. They already have some nice wards, but LNG at least do have a defensive vision line, so no RNG haven't pushed too far forward, but here's the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go too early with the rockets, so they're not going to be able to get the steal from that. You can see the charm is good to try and distract them, and there is the secure. They flash in, they get free. There's 1 for nothing for the moment. You're in Mininar form here for Zika as he tries to burn down some of Aphelios' health bar. They need to get the resets onto the Jinx, and they do exactly that. The Aphelios is dead. The President has fallen, and now the Wei shall go down as well. They do not have a teleport to go in for the end. Triple kill coming in from Scout. They are starting to lose this turret. They should be able to get the resets in time. They won't lose the game just yet.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one. RNG going to consistently have this pressure from the base being open. They're going to try and push through mid right now. Scout having Hong Yuan. I don't think they should be able to, right? We have less than 20 seconds of Breathe LP.
I don't know, man. They're looking for something here because I know they sent Scout back because he has the TP. I'm getting a bit excited maybe because they don't know where the Ari is. But yeah, don't know. This match is getting crazy.
I mean, this match has definitely been crazy. I mean, this match has been crazy since the beginning of this game, where again, the script just flipped so drastically. We're gonna see here, Scout gets a huge ultimate, right? Not only bursts out Breathe, but gets some good damage on LP. Sure, the healing comes through to be able to get him huge, but I love how Tarzan knows he has to full send it, and they have to burst out this Aphelios. Gala, using that Gale Force, gets a bit closer in range, able to get excited, and then just wait for Way to come back up from the GA and they finish it off. Honestly, maybe the amount of engage in the Jinx will just outdo the Yuumi. If they can be that decisive, pull the trigger, it's like, what can LP do?
Without LP, without the extra summoners, is just so exposed. I mean, I was going to say Scout did so much, but also the big thing that we kind of passively didn't get to talk about is the fact that Scout getting those 3 kills brings him back up to 15 stacks. He was down onto 4, so like it's a huge swing of momentum back into that item, which means that he's on full build and can still get more AP. This is a big moment, and I'm just noticing now Gala has got a stopwatch. This next fight could be it.
Scout is just so far ahead of anyone else on the map, too, in terms of items. He is huge right now. I mean, we saw the damage numbers, right? Doing by far the most in that last fight. Looking towards Dragon. Ooh. All Summoner. I wonder if Scout's Flash will be up by then. Other than that, Summoner's up across the board if a fight did break out right now.
It's scary. It's a full AP Gragas who almost has a Banshees. That Banshees could be the difference. You saw how quickly he burns down once he gets caught by the Ani. He has absolutely, basically zero magic resistance when it comes to the true damage that will be pulling out. They have Zika with a TP able to put in. They know that there's a ward just a little bit off to the side here. That could be key. You get that TP down. Breed hasn't gone towards it just yet. They're too worried about the rest of the map, and unfortunately they do lose that ward by passive because the Braum had to drop down a little bit more around their own vision. Speaking
of the Braum, Hung having Anathemas in pocket, ready to go for someone like LP in a fight. Even you hit on the stopwatch coming out for Gala. I think Tarzan has been sitting on one for quite a while now, just holding on to it. So it feels like definitely going into the next fight, LNG have a lot of tools to work with. Aww.
He sold it and picked up a Last Whisper. Just as you said it, I just realized it. I was like, wait a minute. Where's it gone? He didn't use it yet. So, I mean, he's obviously confident in his cleanse and his flash to keep him alive.
I mean, he will have a Braum just sitting right in front of him the whole time.
Oh, here we go. Immediately, the Zhonya has to be used. Tarzan has to flash away because those are a hell of a lot of chakrams. I mean, Breed, I don't think wins against this 1v1 into Zika. Yeah, you can see him now kind of walking away from this. They've respawned the inhibitor.
Machine and Dragon's coming up. Now no Moonlight Vigil, no explosive cast. If LNG can get out of base with their health bars, they should feel much better about going into a 5v5.
I mean, Breed can't defend this. Breed needs help, but you can see it on the minimap. It's finally coming, but it might be too little too late. They've lost the inhibitor turret, and now Breed's in a little bit of a 2v1. Zika looking to try and do this out. He blodges absolutely everything, but he still goes down to the charm. And while that's all happening, we can go back towards the Jinx because she's now trying to get excited, and they've caught away the jungler. That could be huge. Tanguin is on the backside, though. He's looking for a flank. They're looking to try and jump onto LP. 2 auto attacks, and he's already losing a third of his HP. Charm comes out over the side. It's also very, very close, and this Yuumi can heal up as much as you possibly want. They've got Breed on the backside, though. He's completely sidestepped their vision.
Explosive cast looks like it's back and ready to go, too. They need to be careful. I mean, Breed could make the master play right here.
They're going to try and put down more damage onto LP. Maybe commit onto him. One more zap would have been good, but he's got the honey fruit to keep him up and alive. Now Breeze realizes that he's a little bit over the side. Gala gets away with a cleanse. LP gets jumped on by Scout, who goes golden straight away. Breeze trying to stay alive as well. The Tibbers will go down, but Gala's the one to get excited. LP tries to come back for the hero play and immediately is punished. RNG, they had an opportunity, but now everyone will be going down. They cannot survive this onslaught, and LNG will look for the end.
Yeah, they're just going to look to push through. Way is up, but that shouldn't be enough. 40-second death timers. LNG can just barrel through the base as 5.
There's nothing you can do, Way. You will be jumped on. You've got no decoy. You've got no way to go. You're going to go into a brief respite, Paul Kindred, as you get your last wishes out, because you are going to be going straight back to the gray screen. And that is LNG taking a 2-0 decisive game 1, but a hell of a game 2.
How did this happen? Scout with a huge game at the end of the day after LNG's early game. Again, just complete opposite of what we saw in the first game, which was honestly kind of like a League of Legends masterclass coming out from LNG. But this was also kind of a masterclass in like keeping your cool, keeping your mental good, and just like, you know, showing the mechanisms to come back. And I know games like this will always be judged harshly, as they should, right? It was a very messy game from LNG. But one thing I'll say, thinking back to my experience when I was on a team, right, is that I think it's a lot harder to like learn how to come back in a loss, just because usually in scrims it's not what you're focusing on, right? You're focusing on like, oh, what things went